People lie, but their reaction will never lie because their nervous system will literally sell them out if they are lying. Yes, a lot of people don't know the importance of putting your best foot forward to have the best appearance possible, right? Wherever you go. A lot of people tell you, oh, appearance is vain. Let me just dress casual. I don't need to do much. I'm a casual person, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? I'm here to tell you, a lot of people, the reason why they're not going further in life is because they've neglected themselves. They're not putting the best foot forward, right? To look their best. Because your self-image is the reality that people project out there. People treat you as they see you. Yes. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons why first impression, right, is the best thing possible that you can work on, apart from other areas in your life. So let's go. Which one is the number one key thing a lot of people forget? The number one key thing is, right, a lot of people, they don't know your appearance is the status symbol. It's the message you send out there, right? Covertly, that this is who you are. As soon as people see you, they make a snap judgment straight away. How they should treat you, the kind of category you belong. Yes, some people can get away with it, like billionaires, well-known celebrities, people that have made their names already, right? But that's exception to the rule, which is applicable to whatever scenario. There's always exception to the rule. But majority in most cases, right? If you don't dress or appear the way you want to be treated, guess what? People will treat you less than. By the time they know who you are or your self-worth, they've already discarded you. That's how most people lose valuable connections, right? So yes, your appearance is your status symbol. Your grooming, right? That communicates silently. Your aesthetics, that communicates who you are. Your discipline, right? So yes, that's the number one key thing. Which one is the second one? The second one, right? The effort you put on your appearance, right, suggests your self-respect of who you are. If you value yourself, yes, you're not doing it for anyone, but inwardly, if you put in the work, you look your best, people will treat you as they see you. That's just the reality of the situation most people overlook. That's the second one. Which one is the third one, right? Us human beings, we are visual creatures, whether a male or a female. We look, we suggest, we see, right? We have the male gaze or the female gaze, and most of this is based on appearance, attraction. As soon as someone sees you, they know straight away if they want you or they don't want you. That's the reality of the situation people overlook. Yes, they think, oh, let me just play it cool. I'm a casual person. I don't need to do much. People like me for who I am. Yes, but guess what? People will never just like you for who you are just like that. They'll like you based on the reason. That's just the reality of the situation. Whether they find you attractive, whether they find you very intelligent, whether they find you valued and in a high position, they will need favor from you for different reasons. That's the reality of the situation most people overlook. So yes, that's another one. That's the third one. Which one is the fourth one? The fourth one, right? Biology signals faster than personality. Yes. Your biology, who you are, your physique, your aesthetics, it signals very fast than your personality. By the time people know your character, what you stand for in life, your intellectual capacity, right? Your internal value that you project outside to the world, which is hidden inside of you, or your potential. People don't see that. The biology of who you are, right, signals first before people know the kind of personality you are. And most people don't give a chance for you to give that kind of, for you to express yourself, right? They don't give a chance for you to express yourself. They make snappy judgments about you as soon as they see you. Because why? Biology communicates faster than your personality. People see you, they judge you instantly in their mind. They won't say it outrightly, right? But covertly, they know what they think about you. They're not going to say it explicitly, but implicitly, they know that, you know what, this person, this is the way I'm going to treat him, by the way I see him. That's the reality of the situation. So yes, which one is the fifth one? The fifth one, right? The situation people don't know. Yes. The way people treat you is a direct reflection of how they see you, how they think about you, how they value you. If you are in a relationship, someone is treating you less than, it means they don't value you that much. That's the reality of the situation. They never said it explicitly, but in their mind, the way they're treating you shows you everything. Yes. If they value you, they will treat you with utmost respect. They will really go extra mile to make sure they keep you happy. Why? Because they value you, they don't want to lose you. But when someone is treating you less than, it means they don't care whether you stay or you go, right, or you leave. They don't care. They don't value you. They don't know your worth. They take it for granted. Why? Because you allow them to. Yes. Because whatever you do, people see some signals that, you know what, they can get away with such things. Because if you know you're the kind of person that has boundaries, you value yourself, you put in the time and work on yourself. If someone started treating you less than, what do? You flee for your dear life, because sooner or later, you start second guessing yourself. Why? Because you allow people to treat you less than. At some point in time, you start losing your personality, you start losing your value, you start doubting yourself. Yes, so that's why you shouldn't allow someone to treat you less than. Because once you allow that, you're just going a downward spiral. That's the reality of the situation most people don't want to face. So yes, those are the things you need to work on. Your appearance is immensely valuable to the point where it's your self-image. That's how people treat you out there. That's how people project you. Even sometimes when people want to do a project, the same people go there for the same job, right? But they'll decide to pay them differently. Why? Because they believe, even if you have the same qualification, the way the other person presented him or herself, they will decide to pay him more than the other person, even though they have the same qualifications, by virtue of how they presented themselves, the way they perceive themselves, perceived value, right? That's how we call perceived value. Because they think, oh, this person deserves to get more by how they see them. It's all about perception, right? Let me just put it that way, straight up. But that has to come from you. The way you carry yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you project yourself out there to the world, right? That's how people treat you, that's how people value you. So that's how, and that can only be achieved by having that introspection, to put in the work within yourself. And part of it is your self-image, the way you see yourself, right? So that's why most people want to compare, oh, millionaires, they dress in hoodies, they overdress, they're more casual, they're laid back. But guess what? Most of these millionaires, they're never into fashion. They never value style. Some of them are born into money. Putting your best foot forward, dressing the best way possible. It's an art. It's a habit. It's something that has to be in you. It doesn't mean that when someone has money, if they're not used to dressing well, they're going to immediately start dressing well. No, it's not in them. That doesn't go to all millionaires or billionaires. Some billionaires, right, they can dress well. I've seen quite a few. I know they are really, really into fashion or style. That sense of style is above average, right? They're killing it. But the reality I'm trying to say is, majority, they're not into fashion, they're not into style, right? They value other things. They think, oh, having that self-image is not important. Well, guess what? That's why most of these billionaires and millionaires, they're the biggest, some of them, not all. Because why? They try to neglect certain things. They pay attention on other things that they believe is more valuable. Forgetting that your self-image is quite important. Even to have a romantic partner, they have to find you attractive. And that has to come part of it, your self-image. Because all of us human beings, right? We're kind of vain, the way we do things. We like beautiful things. Just like the story of Adam and Eve, right? What made Adam and Eve? What made Eve was beguiled in the Garden of Eden? Because even if it's a myth, Satan turned himself into a beautiful serpent, right? And guess what? Adam saw the serpent. She was intrigued by the serpent, right? She was curious. She wanted to know which kind of serpent is this, because it's different, it's beautiful, it's eccentric. So you, as a man that knows the value of self-image, the way you presented yourself, the appearance, right? Your stage appearance should be next level. So that's how Satan was able to beguile Adam, right? Even if it's a myth, but that's the reality of the situation. Even in real life, when people see you, they don't know about your luggages or baggages. If they like you, they'll go extra mile to do whatever you ask of them. Especially us men, when you see a beautiful woman, we don't mind spending our last pennies to keep them happy, to make sure we have this figure of power. Yes. So, and the same thing goes again to Cleopatra, right? When she wanted to visit Julius Caesar, what did she do? Her stage appearance was legendary, right? She was rolled up in the carpet, and when they went to the palace, they literally released her from the carpet. And then when she stood in front of Julius Caesar was bewildered instantly. As soon as Cleopatra made a bidding for Julius Caesar to help her to conquer the Ptolemaic Empire, right? Guess what? Julius Caesar did a bidding. Why? Because her stage appearance was legendary. She knows the importance of self-image, to put your best foot forward. She dressed in a very provocative way to the point where, as soon as Julius Caesar saw her, right, he was instantly mesmerized, right? He was titillated to the point where Julius Caesar couldn't help himself. He indulged into Cleopatra, and guess what? He started fighting for Cleopatra. I even helped Cleopatra. When you know the value of self-image, right, and use that to your advantage, it's a deadly weapon that you can use to achieve so many things in life. But most people overlook the idea of your self-image. So if you pay attention to your self-image, you're halfway there. You don't have to overdo it in a very calculated way, right? Because most people, when they press, they tend to think if you overdo it, that's when you get it right. But if you overdo it, it might come off badly. So everything is an art. Pressing well is an art. If you overdo it, then it's gonna go bad. If you do it the right way, hitting the right spots, having the right balance, the right proportion, because dressing well is about a concoction of different varieties put together. Having the right combination, that's when